Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit. I'm with Kel, and we are going to review the playoffs. And this day, I think, and since this whole day, this day was a 11-hour day.
Yeah.
But the commissioner has come out and said, and he said it on Sunday morning. I saw it on Twitter. It's like, before you guys even start, we're going to separate the playoffs into another day, because it was hard on the players, hard on us watching them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in like 11 hours, man.
Right, especially with how many good games. Like
I had to take a break.
Yeah.
I took a break. I watched the end of the Florida match, and I watched the rest of it earlier. Because I just needed a break in between the big matches in the playoffs. But I did watch because they're my team. I rewatched it, and they look good. But yeah, they needed to separate that. That's one thing about him as a commissioner. He's not afraid to go.
He's not afraid to make changes, and he knows. I mean,
it's hard.
He knew going into this that this was going to be. He's going to need to make adjustments. There's no way it's going to come in and it's going to be absolutely perfect, because there's just scenarios where you have no idea. And this was worst case scenario for this whole thing.
They had the perfect world schedule set up.
Yeah,
but everything went to five maps, and then 2 of them went all 3 points.
Yeah,
and then you had Boston and Houston going to 99-99 on every point.
Right,
and then they were still fighting, and it was just. It took a long time. Then you have to break down. You have to get set up for the next match and stuff like that.
Right.
So I mean, I think the first playoff match didn't start till like 9:15.
Yeah, and it was supposed to start at 8.
8. Yeah. So I mean, you're an hour and 15 minutes off to begin with.
And this is Eastern time, guys.
Yeah, we're
but yeah,
EST.
Yeah, but I mean, you can kind of adjust and know it started an hour and a half after it was supposed to start.
And
each subsequent match just got pushed back a little bit further, because that first one went to 5.
The second one went
to 5.
And
then the third one went to 5. So like each one just took
20 to about half an hour minutes.
Longer than it usually would have. Because I don't think Florida and
they didn't start until 7 o'clock.
They didn't start until almost 7.
And they were supposed to start
6.
Yeah. Also, not only the time thing, I think the playoff matches were good. They were exciting, but they were sloppy.
Yes.
I think they don't want sloppy.
Yeah.
Right. And the only benefit was Houston and London played each other earlier, so they kind of had a feel.
They knew how each other were going to play, yeah.
But the last match was great and exciting, but it was sloppy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sloppy shit going on there. And I think that moving the 2 playoff matches to Sunday, it's for $100,000.
Right. You want them to be sharp and
at least have a minute to prepare.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it's
just
think overnight.
About it. London, even though London won, they had 10 minutes to get ready for the next match.
Right. London played how many? They played 14 maps in one day.
14 maps. Try and play 6 on ladder. And I don't mean if you're some nutbag like XQC that fucking plays all night long drinking 17 energy drinks.
Right.
I'm talking about a normal human being.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking XQC for doing that. But I'm just saying, it's just an example.
Yeah. Like, not everyone can do that.
No.
Even these guys that are professionals,
and
especially playing
with money on the line.
Yeah, with money on the line. And it's such a high level in general. Like, you're playing against other professionals. Like, even
in a theater with people screaming.
Yeah.
It's
that guy holding up the Symetra sign. I don't know how that guy's arms didn't get tired. That guy's the real MVP.
Yeah, he's the real MVP. Symetra remains rejoice. By the way, she's not going to be in there.
Play sim, you cowards.
Play sim, you cowards. No. They're smart. They're not going to play. All right, we're going to talk about this for a second, because I got into a big argument on Twitter about this. Look, here's the thing, guys. I love Symetra. There is nothing.
I would love to see her played more, but it's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Think about stepping. Especially if you play Symetra, you're hiding around the corner. You come out to try and to burst down Diva. They have Linkser on Widowmaker. You're dead.
Yeah.
The minute you stick your hose out the fucking door, you're dead. Same thing when these guys play McCree. You don't have a chance.
Right.
And
even McCree,
they don't run in terror.
Hit scan. Any long distance, they're just going to eat you alive.
Breaking this to you lightly, it's not like in gold and ladder and silver and quick play where people run in terror.
Yeah.
They just hit you in the face with a fucking helix rocket and you're dead.
They see, like, you start hopping around, they're going to be like, okay, I know the exact timing of your hop, and I'm just going to pick you off right now.
Yeah.
Like...
So, all right, I had to get the Symetra thing off my chest. I love playing her. I love being the evil, crazy person and making people run in terror. It's there's nothing more satisfying.
Best character to play when you're drunk in the game, other than maybe Drunk Rat.
Yeah, Drunk Rat is the king.
But both of them are
yeah. But
it is hilarious to see in the lower ranks that we're playing in, the people that just run in terror, like, oh my god, she put her shield out, I better run in front, I better run with the shield instead of just going directly into her.
You have I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, but
it infuriates me. Yeah, it's like people running in a Bastion in the lower tiers.
Oh god.
So now on to the big matches of the day. Playoffs.
Going into the playoffs.
Now, this is kind of the exact opposite as what we had in the first meeting with these two guys.
Yeah.
Houston, now when they took Dorado.
They looked really good.
I thought they were gonna sweep them the way they were playing. I just thought London looked tired.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then we had the Birdring and Profit show come back to life, but Dosen and Nuss were playing incredible too.
Well, this is the best I've ever seen London play on a King of the Hill map. Hands down, their best play on Ilios that they've had the entire season.
They might have had Wuhao playing on Farah on that. I think that helps them when they throw him in there.
Yeah.
Because he's good on he's good on McCree too.
Yeah.
But
his Farah is really good and really helped them because Houston didn't really have anybody to match that.
No.
And that kind of hurt them.
That's one of the things. I mean, especially on Ilios. I mean, Linkser, you put him in on McCree. I don't know. There was just something going on that. I think they were tired too.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could tell.
Your mental strain on this.
Looking at the box score again, and then after having watched it, like you could tell that they were both just starting to really look tired.
Yeah, and we'll
especially towards the end. That Eichenwald, that hold.
By London
that London had.
That was insane.
Was incredible.
I don't know how they
some of the best defense in this game I've ever seen.
The best defensive team in the league, as far as you know. And you know what London did too? They adapted.
Yes.
I know we've seen some of the Profit Junkrat.
Yeah. Oh man, this is where we really saw Profit on Junkrat.
And I think all of a sudden he was like,
yeah, this is the game where some of those guys pulled out characters that we have not seen them play very much at all, and they just wrecked.
Because I know he runs it on Anubis, but he was like, I think I'm kind of liking this fucking damage this guy does. He was just fucking raking.
I think player of the game in this. Actually, player of the night for London in general was Birdring.
Oh, Birdring.
His Widowmaker was just gross.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a couple of times where Linkser was trying to go one-on-one with him, with Widowmaker, and then just gave up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Linkser's great, too.
Linkser's an incredible Widowmaker, and Birdring was just on him. Yeah. Especially on Ilios, I feel like there was some moments where, Linkser was trying to get in there and just... Birdring was just punishing him.
Yeah, he was punishing everybody all week long.
He was.
Between
his Tracer play,
his Tracer play has been excellent, but when he gets on Widowmaker, frightening.
Watch out. So that that match was crazy and incredible, but you could tell that
Houston was tired.
Yeah, Houston was tired. They had pulled out everything, and then
they were making little mistakes here and there that they didn't make earlier in the day.
And just the offense that we saw from London in general,
London was just
they were just on.
It's hard to stop that. I mean, and they're a good defensive team, and the thing actually, London's defense was great, and just the way they defended everything. I mean, they didn't give up many points at all.
No.
I mean, they gave up the first map, but that was a 2-1 job. It wasn't like it was anything. I mean, they didn't give up another point for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that had to do with Houston being tired. And I think London, who usually runs dive, they kind of did they ran a lot of dive in this, but they ran more of that, all right, you're going to run that thing, we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And
they just played it better.
And they played it better.
Yeah.
Because they were running Roadhog. I forget who was running Roadhog. It might have been, I don't know who was running. They ran Roadhog a couple times, and they actually ran it better than anyone that any time that I had seen them run it. But they just took that game into control after, it was kind of like, look, enough fucking around.
Yeah.
We've lost, they lost 3-1 in the last one.
We're getting into this final. We don't care. We are getting there.
Yeah.
And we're going to do everything we can. And they showed that, and they just dominated.
They dominated. And, Houston played great.
Yeah.
Not in this match necessarily. and this is also gets back to the sloppy. This was really sloppy.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch, but for these guys' level, it wasn't the
as
normal
sharp as they normally play each other.
Yeah, there were blown ults here and there, and missteps and C9s, and it's because guys are mentally tired.
Yeah,
it's understandable, but yeah, London definitely showed that they were a superior team, though.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, Houston had a great run.
As inconsistent as they have been over the course of this stage.
Still getting wins, mind you.
Yeah.
But I mean, they lost twice, but it's only 2 losses.
3. They lost 3. They were 7-3. Because they had some really head-scratching losses. I think that's what the most worrisome thing was for them.
Boston wrecking them, I think, was the one worrisome thing, at least for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Boston just steamrolling them, I think, was a really big eye-opener as to... And they probably used that to their advantage to really fuel themselves to get up there and make sure that they didn't lose anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And
it paid off, obviously.
I do have to say, though, that them having essentially a double roster did help them out in the amount of maps they had to play.
Yes.
Because it's a good thing they only went 4.
Yeah. Because
they would have been on 15 maps by the time they got to the championship game, which is nuts.
Yeah.
I still can't fathom that. And playing in that pressure and with the lights and the people but they helped them because they were subbing in and out. They had Hurang and Wuhal came in a couple times. You need to give these guys a break.
Right.
Which is where these, I think, smaller roster guys are figuring, we can run 6. And then they're like, no, you can't.
No.
Even I think the Gladiators have 7.
Yeah.
You're going to see guys get picked up on these teams because you can't do it.
And then also trying to balance your cohesion when you do have the subs. That's a really difficult thing to do. And London's they really picked up on it, and they found cohesion no matter what lineup they're running.
Yeah, I think the first couple times they tried it, was against Boston, where they started. Yeah. They weren't used to each other or something, but they got it down.
Yeah,
and they ripped Houston a new one. And I can't really say anything bad about Houston in this game.
No,
they just got outplayed.
Yeah.
There was mistakes made, but London forced a lot of those mistakes.
Yes.
Especially with Birdring and Profit doing the things that they do.
Right. Yeah. There was a few moments where they forced out ults that Houston really needed to win fights, and that really killed them.
There was a couple, I think, on Anubis, Profit, I think, forced out a couple.
Yeah.
On Genji, and just forced out Transcendence when it wasn't necessarily needed, but he forced it out. He Dragon Bladed, forced it out, and then peeled out, and then it was all right. You used, thanks.
Yeah,
I got everything I needed to get on my ult on that one because you used yours.
Right,
and it gave them an advantage too because I think they had both support ults, which at this point with the Valkyrie, it's you have to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have the Valkyrie and then no Zen ult like that, it was a killer. And they needed them and they didn't have them, so it didn't work out for them.
No, it didn't. So that's that match. Yeah, now we'll go on to the championship, the Stage 1 championship game between London and
New
York, which
wow, this is
a fun match, fun game all around. The whole thing was great.
Yeah. Especially after those first 2 games, you're like, oh man, New York's got this in the bag.
Yeah.
Especially that moment on Junkertown when Pine on the second point when Pine comes behind and gets that pick off of what was it, 4?
4? Yeah, he got a 4 with Widow.
Wow. And that was just a ballsy flank. No one really does that.
That was a Pine flank. Let's just call it the Pine flank.
It was a Pine flank for sure. No other Widow would have the balls to do that kind of thing, and he just comes in and they just one by one try to take him out, and it was just too late.
And with his aim and his flick ability, don't.
I mean, it was 10 seconds of just
headshot.
Yeah. It was.
And he was looking for more. There's just nobody left.
Right. And
I think that, and London was on, they're on their second match in a row. I think that woke them up a little bit, though.
Yeah.
And there was no way they were winning Oasis. I think I said that when we were streaming.
Yeah.
I will put money that London will not win this map against New York.
Well, also, what really helped them, because London really didn't get very many percentage points on this.
No.
They didn't get a single point. I think in total, they probably got about 30 to 40% at the most on either one. But there was a point where Sabiobi just came in.
He just was taking over.
And just completely took over.
How many?
I think he had close to a quad kill. It was spaced out just enough that it wasn't a quad kill, but
a double kill and then a double kill.
He came in and just completely dominated and helped New York solidify the win on that. I think London did have a decent percentage point, and they were really close to flipping it back.
City Center.
It was on City Center.
And then I think he dropped a pulse bomb onto a Mercy.
Yep.
He got Mercy and the Winston, and then he just said, "I'm taking over."
Yep, and just
get the fuck out of the way
and just dominated. Like that was probably one of the single most dominant performances from Sabiobi we've seen yet.
That was I'm not losing. Fuck you.
Yeah. And it was incredible to watch.
He made Birdring look like a child on Tracer on that. I don't know what something just fired him up on that. He's like, I am not losing Oasis to you fucking clowns. Yeah. There is no way.
Yeah, he was not fucking around.
But this is also where you started to see weird shit from New York a little bit too.
Yeah.
Jonak was way off on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think also it goes a little bit to the not too much Pine, but London was punishing their tanks.
Yeah.
And Ark couldn't be there to feed him.
Yep.
And that's going to be big in the next meta too.
When you
don't have that damage boost all the time, what are you going to do?
When Ark isn't able to damage boost Jonak, it's because everyone's kind of taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
And Jonak's throwing out healing orbs, so he's keeping people up enough so Ark can throw that on him.
Yeah, but when you
take that away from them, it's
almost confusing to them. They get confused, except for Sabiobi, I think, where he's the veteran, where he's like, because people got to understand, Jonak's a rookie.
Yeah.
In this stuff, Sabiobi's been around a bit, and that's why guys like him are needed on this team. But London was punching their tanks, I think, a lot too, and they just didn't have the same rhythm that they normally do. Right. And you started to see it on Oasis, because London's terrible on Oasis. They're probably the happiest team if they got a new map goal coming up.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the fucking, like I said earlier, it's not the map 5.
Yeah. If Lijiang is a regular rotation map, they're not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, if it's Ilios are a little bit better on though.
Yeah.
This one, they're just I don't know what it is. They don't have the answer for it yet.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that kind of hurts them is they don't have a really good Pharaoh player.
Yeah. And you need that for the Garden.
Yes.
Because the University, they have decent enough like Roadhog, Orisa kind of play going on, but
let's move on to Horizon,
Horizon. This is where the tide turns.
Yes, and you could see that New York really started to get
they got tight.
You could see them kind of tense up and like you could tell they wanted to finish it off right then, and they just couldn't. They couldn't shut them down quite enough,
and they were forcing that issue too much. They were. This is where the trickling. This is where the trickling alt bullshit started with them in this match. They were pressing really hard. This is I'm sorry if you live in Atlanta. This is the Falcons. 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. They started forcing things, and they made mistakes.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Also, on top of that, this is where Birdring really started to take over. And his Widowmaker on Horizon on defense was
dirty. That was just dirty.
Nasty. Well, also, we were talking about it on the stream.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why New York was just like, we're not even going to try the meatball.
Yeah, and they were running straight dive.
Yeah, they were running straight dive, but they
were running, the thing that was pissing me off is like...
They weren't diving the way that they normally would.
Yeah, and they were running it straight into that Roadhog, Orisa,
and
Widowmaker thing.
And just getting shredded.
Yeah, they tried the Sombra thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of works, but they run that meatball thing to a T. I thought
London's Sombra play was far superior.
Oh, yeah.
And
even then, Dosin was playing Sombra. He was on fire.
But there was a point where even he had some really questionable ults with his.
Yeah.
I think they were still trying to take point A, and he had all of them, but he had none of his teammates around.
Yeah.
He got like probably a 5-man.
He went ladder.
Yeah, he had like a 5-man hack, and
nobody was there.
No one was there to capitalize, and New York was just like, okay,
yep,
and you're dead.
Guess what? Left click still works,
right?
And a Sombra, you die.
Yeah.
But that was a really sloppy, just
just all around from both teams. Yeah. This was pretty sloppy.
There was a lot of sloppy.
But New York was just a little bit sloppier, and London was able to capitalize.
And they were trickling. They were doing just and getting London. I think London was. They got fucking Profit, and they staggered for like about 10, 15 extra seconds because he was fucking around, and Sabiobi caught him.
Yep.
You know, it just was. It was as fun as it was to watch. It was a little sloppy.
It was sloppy for sure, especially these two teams who normally do not play like that at all.
Who mistakes are minimal.
Yeah.
They were making a lot of them. You know, London, I'm sure, was being tired from being, playing literally all day.
Yeah.
Same thing with New York. They had to play early in the afternoon and then wait, which is, I don't know which is worse.
Right. Well, I mean, as much as Horizon was a turning point, I think New York still felt like they had it.
So do I.
And Numbani was where it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
London is not match. Playing. And by London, it took them a while to get that first point, and then they got it probably about 10 meters away, or no, they got it around the corner, 2 or 3 meters away from getting point B.
From point B there on the going up around the corner to the bridge on the big whatever is that underpass.
Yeah, they were really close to that, but New York had some excellent defense on that, and they managed to stop them. So you're just like, okay, and, this is the perfect setup for New York. All they have to do is come in, get this first point, and once they get that first point, it's over.
Then what the fuck happened?
There's no way they get stopped like New York or like London got stopped. Then London's defense was immaculate.
It was immaculate, but I'm gonna contest it a little bit by saying, what the fuck was New York doing?
Yeah, New York was not.
Even Doa and Monte Cristo were saying, like, Monte Cristo's like, I don't know why they keep running this dive. They're not running it good.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they weren't. They were running a dive comp, but they weren't diving properly and know how they normally would. It was really weird.
And then they were trickling, and I think I was calling it New York. What's New York think they're in quick play?
Yeah,
I mean. Yeah,
then they were making weird switches and all of that.
Yeah, and then they were split up,
and just as you think New York's probably about to make a final push, that's when Birdring is like, fuck
you, I'm done with you guys now.
Yeah, this is it. He just goes off.
Yeah,
and that was the major turning point of this entire game, I feel like.
Yeah, because we both were like, you could get around the corner, and you got this match.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even get past. I mean, props to London on that, but New York was running some weird shit there. I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
But I feel like more credit goes to how well London played their defense, and they were just unreal.
New York was like, they were starting to get tighter at this point.
Yeah, you kind of feel that. You could see that pressure building up on them. Like, okay, we got to get this win. We got to get this.
And I don't care how we do it, and we're just going to fucking go in and just try and steamroll them like this. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try this.
Yep.
Nope, that didn't work.
And in my time as a Cleveland sports fan, I've seen plenty of times where you're really close and you blow it, like we did against Boston in 2007 Indians, and then when the Cavs won against, it was the same thing. They got cocky, then it started to get tight, and they started making mistakes.
All you need is one weird thing to happen. Like I guarantee you, New York probably thought, a point at least on.
They're just like, we got this point. We got point A. We totally got this.
And then when they slammed it, and when they slammed it in their face, they were like, "Fuck!" And then the timer's going.
Yep.
And then you hear that music going when 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they really started to press, and London was just London really held strong.
Yeah, they just
New York just budge an inch. They look discombobulated.
Yep. Which brings us to the last map of the match, where they just they just fell apart.
Well, this is where London really started to punish New York's supports, and that was the real killer. When
New York supports were not allowed to do what they normally do.
No, they weren't. They were not able to do it at all. When they were hiding in that church. On the second point.
Profit knew where they were.
Profit was just like, okay.
Keep doing that.
Yep, go ahead, guys. I can see your little band going across there. I know where you are.
Yep.
And here's a tire.
Yep. Although, Jonak did survive one junk tire by fucking kicking it.
Oh, my God.
but Profit was on them.
Yeah.
He was like, every time he had a rip tire, he was going right for Jonak.
Right for those two.
And hopefully getting Arc in there.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, when he took out Ark and Jonak, that was where you knew this is the end of this game.
Yeah, I knew that they were done.
Yeah,
especially
with how far London had gotten it.
Yeah,
and then for New York to get stopped right there, you just knew that it was game over.
Yeah, there was no way they were getting that up into the building.
No. They had
we were even
way
saying
too much time off the clock.
People were getting picked off weird. Yep. Too. That was another one.
Yeah, another one of staggers.
Yeah,
a lot of stagger kills and just sloppy play.
Yeah, they were too sloppy, and London was less sloppy, and they weren't pressing like New York.
Yeah, and this is where you could really tell that New York was really pressing and like they were just desperate to get there, and you could see that desperation, and London was just much more patient.
Yeah,
and that patience paid off for them.
Yeah, and they were doing what New York was doing at this point. I think New York was doing we're in fucking trouble.
Yes.
London was just letting the game, not letting the game come to them per se, but letting things unfold and either proacting or reacting the right way.
Yes.
Seeing what, New York makes a mistake, they took care of it. And New York was just super pressing, and you could fucking feel it.
Yeah, it really could.
I'm going, London's playing a much more organized game, and New York seemed forced by this point, and it just... I mean, we both picked New York in this, but I got to give props to London. They came back and they
won deservedly.
And they deserved to win this.
Yeah,
because on the last two maps, they by far outplayed New York.
Yeah,
by far,
for sure.
And a lot of it was they outplayed them in the supports and they outplayed them on DPS.
Yes,
Birdring and Profit are probably, I'd say they were they named Birdring the MVP of the playoff game. I would name him the MVP of the fucking week.
Yeah. With how he was playing, but I mean, Profit was right there with some incredible plays as well.
I mean, that
DPS combo was
on
phenomenal.
Fire. Congratulations to the London Spitfire.
Congrats, guys.
Very well played, and we will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe. We'll be on Twitter, Twitch.
Yeah,
doing our thing.
We'll probably do some quick play, maybe a game or two of competitive.
Yeah,
I still have like 4 or 5.
I got 9.
Yeah,
I got 9. I was
playing 1.
I honestly was gonna play yesterday. Then I got sucked into deathmatch because then you're playing with the same people, and all it takes is one asshole playing Junkrat and one person playing Symmetra, and you just want to punish them for an hour.
Yeah. But we'll definitely be doing some of that this week, and we will see you guys on the next one.
See you on the next one. Congrats, London, again.
Later.